Mike Moore Media.
Right now I'm talking to Savannah Banner at Best Shot Barrel Horses and Therapy right here in Rockingham County. Hey, Savannah, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fine, and lovely fall morning, I guess, at the ranch or where you are. What's going on there?
It's beautiful outside. I'm glad to have some cooler weather.
Yeah, very nice. Well, I'm learning here, getting acquainted with you. So let's start first by finding out about Best Shot Barrel Horses and Therapy. What is that?
So that's a business that I started back in 2018 for my horse training services and a therapy for our equine partners, where I have a MagnaWave machine and I go out and work on other horses for muscle soreness and there's a whole bunch of different things that a PEMF machine does, and we won't get into that, but mainly it's a horse training business.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Now, how did you get into this? This is probably something you've been doing from an early age, I imagine.
So I got into horses. I'm a third-generation horse trainer, actually. My grandfather trained, and then my mother also trained some, and then I started. So I've had horses my entire life.
Yeah.
I showed my first horses when I was 5, and
wow.
I originally started out doing a little bit of Western pleasure, and I rode some walking horses and tried the hunter-jumper stuff. And then when I was 12, I got my first barrel, I started running barrels on my mom's old horse. And then I ended up buying my first barrel horse project at 14.
My goodness, you did start
doing
early.
it a while.
Yeah, I would say. Yeah, and this is a real passion for you. Why do you enjoy it so much? What do you like about this?
I get to live my dream.
Oh.
Every day I go out here and I spend time with horses, and that's just what I love to do. I'm not sitting in an office. I can make a bond with a horse and really express myself through them, and all the while chasing my goals of the barrel racing world, of moving up in the industry and training futurity horses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and this is something that it's just growing in popularity, isn't it?
Absolutely. The performance horse world is growing like wildfire, and every day something is changing. So we're always learning about which direction we're moving into, but it has, in the last 5 years, took a big boom, where it's exploded, and everybody wants to be running barrels or doing a speed event or getting into the reining horses.
Yeah, why do you think that is? What kind of moved this forward so quickly in the last few years?
Honestly, I think that there's been a lot of politics that's entered into the horse show world, which means like the Western pleasure stuff that's actually judged, and people have gotten tired of that and wanted to move into something that you can't argue with. You can't argue with the timer at the end of the day.
Okay.
And there's a lot of money in it, and I think it all boils down to money when these barrel horses are selling for extreme amounts of cash that everybody wants to get involved. They want a piece of the pie.
Yeah. Give us an example. What kind of price are you looking at there for these horses?
Some of the stud horses have sold at the Pink and Ruby Buckle sales from anywhere between $500,000 and $1 million, and some of them went over that.
Wow. My goodness. Okay. Well,
we also have big incentives now too, where we're running for a whole lot more money. We used to, you couldn't even win $100,000 in a year 10 years ago, and now people are winning $400,000, $500,000 on a futurity colt, and that's a big incentive to get into it when you can actually make money at it.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. So it's just getting bigger and better, and on lots of levels.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've learned the letters here. ATFO. What is that?
That's the Appalachian Trainer Face-Off. It is a face-off brought to us by Heart of Phoenix organization that trainers from across mainly the East Coast, but we've got some from the West Coast this year too, that we come together and apply to be a part of this competition. That's 100-day challenge. And you go and you pick up a horse. There's different levels. I applied for the Diamond Division, which was an unstarted horse, and you get 100 days to train this horse, and you go back to Winfield, West Virginia at the end of the competition, and you compete for 3 days.
Now, tell us about your horse.
My horse I chose this year was named Gilligan, and he's a 4-year-old Appalachian Brumby. And an Appalachian Brumby is a horse that, at some point, there's been horses turned loose all across the Appalachian Mountains, whether it was from owners just couldn't afford to feed them, they got loose, and they have congregated in these places like strip mines, and they have essentially become wild, just like your Mustangs, but at one point they were domesticated. And he had come into the Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue as a 2-week-old foal that was hit by a car.
Wow.
And he had been with them since then because he had some life-threatening injuries. He had to stay with the vets a long time. And I picked him at pickup day because he was the only horse in the barn that come to the front of the stall to see me.
Oh.
He wasn't my first choice. My first choice got chosen because we had to draw out of a hat our name as to what order we got to pick our horse in. But he was definitely my second choice, and that was why. He was friendly, he was really personable, and I like a personable horse, and he would fit into my program really well that way.
Yeah. This is fascinating, just going back to what you said about these horses and you know, just wild, and that's another whole story in itself, isn't it?
It is.
Wow. It kind of, I don't know if any direct correlation or not, but kind of makes me think of the Outer Banks in our state and the horses that are still there and been there for a long, long time.
Yeah, they have. I think that, from my understanding, it's a mix of different breeds, and some of them from the quarter horse lineages that were domesticated at one point, and then they were released on these mine sites by owners for one reason or another, and who knows how long they've been there. Whether some of them were born on the mines, at the end of the day, nobody could take care of them, or they were looking to sell them and release them to save on cost. And it's illegal to abandon livestock, especially on the private property, and that's what these old mine sites were. So people go in to try to take care of the horses. The Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue gets called when something is in dire need, because often they're starving.
My goodness, this is a real rescue mission for sure, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us more about Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue. I want to hear more about that.
Sorry, my phone broke up. What did you say?
I want to hear more about Heart of Phoenix Equine Rescue and what they do.
So that's a rescue that participates with the Appalachian Trainer Face-Off, and they're advocating for horses across Appalachia. I'm not quite sure when Heart of Phoenix was started. I could find that out if that's more that you wanted to know. But the founder, Tania, started this several years back as a mission to help advocate for these horses. And she started, the name came from a horse. Phoenix was a horse that she rescued in West Virginia during a flash flood in 2010. She was too late to save her in the way that she had hoped, but that's where the rescue name bloomed from, and that's beautiful because to name this after a horse and to have a vision all the way back in 2010 that's come to this type of magnitude where people are coming together to advocate for these horses now is just amazing to look back and see what you can actually do.
Isn't that right? Yeah, that is so true.
It is, and it's an equine nonprofit that solely works off of donations. And they have tons of horses in this rescue that they're helping.
Do they have? Does she have any idea how many horses are out there in these abandoned mines?
I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know. I don't know if she has any idea how many there are, but I do know that they've adopted a lot of horses from these mines out, and they found them homes. There's tons of information online that you can look up as far as typing in the Appalachian Brumby, what is the Appalachian Brumby, and it'll pull up this information.
Yeah. Wow, this is absolutely fascinating, and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little more homework on this about the Appalachian Brumby, and so tell us about a little bit more about Gilligan and how that went, and where's Gilligan now, and just kind of an update.
Gilligan is an awesome little horse, and I love him dearly. We started out our 100 days. We came in. I do a lot of colt starting. Colt starting is probably my main business venture, I would say. And that means I get in unbroken horses and put a start on them for 30, 60, 90 days, depending on what the owner wants.
Right.
So when he came in, he was immediately already friendly, which I liked. He was in my pocket. He liked to be with people, which he was bottle raised, or bucket raised, actually. He didn't eat out of a bottle. You put milk in a bucket, which is easier because it's not as hands-on. But he liked people. He wanted to be with you all the time. So he started out pretty smoothly. It was easy for me to get some groundwork with him. He had a little bit of a bully attitude, but it wasn't bad. And we worked through it pretty fast. And because he wanted to be with me, it made our partnership stronger, faster, I felt like.
Sure.
And I actually only had about 25 rides on him. He was so just laid back and chill that I took him trail riding the first month. We went up to Leatherwood Mountains, and I trail rode for the weekend, and he was perfect. And I knew then, I was like, this is a good horse.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to really enjoy him. And at the end of the competition, he actually ended up coming home with me. I adopted him back. He's here.
Yeah, okay. All righty. So from West Virginia to Rockingham County.
Yep, he's back here with me, so anybody can come see him if they want to come meet Gilligan.
Okay, yeah. How many horses do you have there?
In the training program right now, the numbers vary anywhere from 10 to 16. Right now, I have 14 in for training. And then I have a couple of lesson program horses, and then my fiance, Jesse, also has horses here.
Yeah.
There's about 60 horses on the place right now because my fiance's parents board, and they have a lot of clients in and out as well.
Yeah. So you've got a big area there. Where are you?
We're up off of 770. If you get off of Highway 220 and turn left on 770, we're about 5 miles out on the left.
Okay. And do people come from all over the state, other states? I mean, you've got people from close by, I guess, and far away.
For sure. I've had clients send me horses from Indiana. They've come from Florida. It's been quite a wide span of people send horses in.
Yeah.
Mainly North and South Carolina and Virginia is where a lot of my clients come from. But we do have horses everywhere.
Okay, it sounds like it.
Our sales business is pretty big. We've sent horses out as far as even Canada.
Wow. And this is something that you started in 2018 and has grown and grown, and wow, this is a big business.
Yeah, it really has. It's took off in the last probably 3 years. It's really grown, and I've been able to make a lot of new clients and really fill the barn up with training horses, and my dream has come true. Looking back, if I'd have known, this was my goal then, and you're like, wow, I've actually achieved it.
Yeah. Well, our time is just about up. This has been absolutely fascinating to talk to you and find out more about Best Shot Barrel Horses and Therapy right here in Rockingham County. Any closing comments here? We've got about 45 seconds, a minute left. Savannah.
If anybody would want more information, you can find me on Facebook at Best Shot Barrel Horses and Therapy, and I also have a website at www.bestshotbarrelhorses where you can find about my training program, horseback riding lessons, and even the therapy side of it.
Oh, that's great. Well, it's good to get acquainted. We haven't met face to face, but I would really like to get out and see what you're doing there. So I'm going to try to do that soon. More good weather coming up here in the fall, and that would be a good time for. Can people come and visit? Can you take tours and things like that? Yeah.
Sure, come on out, and I might even let you get a riding lesson. Let you take a ride.
Wow. Oh, that's even better. All right. Savannah, thanks a lot. Living the dream there with your passion. I appreciate what you do. Thanks for this time.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you soon. So maybe see you soon. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bye. All right. Bye. All right. We're finding out more about Best Shot Barrel Horses and Therapy here in Rockingham County. Savannah Banner. Please check her out on Facebook. Find out more about what she's doing and the many services that she offers.